my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. I know it's been all light and fluffy, so let's bring you back down to earth and talk money. Okay, I don't think any of us want to deal with the headache of having spent too much over the holidays, but a lot of us probably will. And that's why we've invited a financial planner, freelance writer, and best-selling author and good friend of our show, Sylvia Walker, into studio to offer some tips on saving ahead of the festive season. This might only really count for next year, because we might be a little bit too late for this Christmas. So welcome back.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sylvia, why do you think a lot of us go into the festive season every year unprepared and we don't save for it? Like, what is it about us that just don't plan
Denial,
for December?
maybe. Yeah.
We know it comes every year.
Yes.
Why do we not actually save for it?
You know, I think, as you say, it comes along every year. So it's not a surprise. It's not an unexpected expense. And we have a track record. We have a history. So
And a bad one.
We do it year
exactly.
after year.
Maybe that's why, yeah.
You know, I think there are some people who probably are quite disciplined and sort of, and we can talk a bit more about that, but plan and do everything carefully. But it's often emotions that come into play, or you leave things to the last minute. There are other things that happen, and then all the plans just, you know, go out the window. And what the heck? It's the end of the year, so let's just, you know, splurge and have fun.
We've earned it. Let's just do it, and then we all pick up the pieces come January or generally
hopefully.
February. We're still working through that. Let's look for a golden ratio here. What number do we need? How much should we be saving for those Decembers? How much more are we likely to spend, maybe is a better way of looking at it, in December? And how much of a kind of cushion do you think we need?
So it's quite interesting. Research shows that in South Africa, about 75% of us spend more over the festive season. So it's not everybody, about 75%. And then of those, of those that spend more, it's about 6,500 Rand on average that we spend more. But obviously that's an average. So some person might spend 10,000 or 20, but so that can give you a kind of ballpark figure. It all depends on your personal circumstances, though. So there's no sort of hard and fast rule. It also depends on how big your family is, you know, how much you splurge, what your priorities are.
Now, I know a lot of people can be quite reckless when it comes to debt, and then going into even more debt over the festive season. Sylvia, from an expert's point of view, what mindset should individuals have that perhaps are thinking of, like, maybe I can put that on the credit card, I'll sort out the credit card next year.
Loan for that holiday,
You know, it's not just the credit card. That's the easy one. You know, don't go into debt, we say, because that's everybody knows that. It's a no-brainer. But it's when you go and you swipe that store card for those extra special, you know, Christmas crackers or that little extra gift. It's that kind of thing we need to, that behaviour. As I say, it's an emotional thing largely. We overspend often because of emotions. So it's trying not to do that. But then the other important thing is, let's say you manage to do your festive season on cash. Do you have enough money in January to buy groceries?
Yeah.
I think that's often where it catches people. You forget, you know, you get that December salary early on, middle of the month, and then we know it's like a 6-7 weeks till the next payday. So that's often where the debt, you know, where you incur debt is actually just to make it through to your next payday.
Well, that's it. And I think, I suppose there has been a bit of a shift, it feels, within the banking fraternity as well to manage. I think post-COVID, a lot of that understanding of what good debt and bad debt is and how to manage that. Thankfully, there's a lot more education in that space, which helps a lot. What are we spending our money on? What is the 6 grand going towards? Is it splurging on dinners? Is it an extra braai? Is it paying the entrance fee to get into places? Or is it stuff that we normally would get anyway and we're just buying more of it? Have you been able to track where that money's going?
So about a third of that is going towards food and drink. Okay. Which is not too bad, I suppose. And the rest of it is going towards gifts and, I suppose, entertainment, going out, you know, maybe holidays. But, sort of a third of it is going towards the whole drinking, eating, which is, of course, another whole issue because we do everything in excess. We've kind of been raised like that, you know. It's 3 meats, 3 salads, 3 vegetables.
And you feel almost justified, beyond justified, if you don't do it like that, you're falling short.
Yes, absolutely. And it's an incredible waste. It's an incredible... If you think of how many people have the leftovers. How many recipes there aren't on how to use leftovers.
Yeah, you live off them for about 2 weeks after Boxing Day,
until they start growing in your fridge. So the point is there's a lot of wastage as well that we need to, even though we do the entertaining, there's a huge amount of wastage. And it becomes expensive. You know, we know about the sort of bring and buy. Everybody brings something. But even if you're hosting, it's incredibly expensive.
For sure.
It
So,
is.
you know, maybe rotate those hosting experiences. Maybe do like a potluck dinner instead of a braai. Everybody brings something. So you have like a medley of things. So look at ways to make it cheaper on, you know, on your pocket at the end of the day.
And do it as a group, do it as a family, do it as and be
Absolutely.
clear about it. Don't be showing off with the extra briberies that you don't need. Talk to each
Well,
other.
it's creating new traditions, really.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So don't fall into the trap of
I
this is
love
the way it
that.
always was done. Create new traditions.
And speaking of those new traditions, I mean, we are in October, so you've got October, November, boom, it's the festive, so maybe not enough time, but still 2 months to prepare yourself for December. What habits should we put in place to now, for next year, be able to be like, oh, that's my holiday fund?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
my
That
festive.
does sound
How do we
great.
do that? What's the best way to go?
So
about it?
I have a very simple approach to money. I like to have little pockets, and they're for specific reasons. So I have a holiday fund, I have a car maintenance fund, I have a home maintenance fund, and there's a festive season fund. And even if you can only put 500 Rand a month into that, start in January. Even if you can just do 500 Rand, by the end of the year, you'll have
That's
like
your 6 grand
5,000.
sorted,
That's just
yeah.
Yeah, 5,500 sorted. So, yeah, do that. Start now planning for next year. As I say, it's not an unexpected expense.
We're going to get my kids to start doing it. We're going to spend their money at the end of the year. That's how we're
piggy
going to do
bank.
it.
That's when you break
I
it.
love it. And we're going to sell it under the guise of financial education. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much. You've simplified something that I think can be quite big and scary for a lot of people. What I love about this, it's changing the smaller habits, not the big movements in your life, the little things. What are you doing today to make that December holiday extra special?